Going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Chill with Chill. It is Saturday, October 18th, and the regular NBA season is just right around the corner. Today, we're going to get into the return of Joel Embiid. He was back last night. We're going to get into that, y'all. Let's talk about Joel. Chill. He looked like he was about 20 pounds, 30 pounds lighter.
He 100% looked a lot. He definitely looked a lot better. He looked like
Yes,
a
sir.
guy who y'all forgot about me. So I got to remind y'all of who I am, and not so much. Not so much. I'm getting back to 30 a game, but like y'all don't even think I could play anymore.
Right.
So let's get to the bottom of that.
Yes, definitely. I mean, we're gonna have to revisit some things, y'all, because Joel is
Yes.
back. But
Let's go
in the
get to the bottom of that.
meantime, Chill, I want to bring up a big game from a guy that just got traded. He went from a contending team to a team that a lot of us are sleep on. And I want to get into maybe like what is the psyche of a guy like Michael Porter Jr. What is his mindset? We saw him pretty much go. He went on like a podcast streaming media run when he got to Brooklyn.
He did do that.
And I never seen that side of him before. And then last night he dropped 34 points on the Toronto Raptors, and he looked like a man on a mission. Chill. What is the mindset of Michael Porter Jr. right now? What are the capabilities, and can we see him have a breakout year? Air quotes, breakout year.
Well, we don't even have to put it in quotes, Ox. And the reason why we don't got to put it in quotes, because when you on a championship team, there's a lot of sacrifice going on, as opposed to when you jump on a unit where, we building something and we trying to figure it out. Well, if we're trying to figure it out, more of me comes out. So if he gets on this Brooklyn Nets team, I could be more of who I am. See, when I'm on this Denver Nuggets team, Joker's the hub, Jamal Murray's the primary ball handler. I'm basically playing off of these guys. So you don't really get to see everything of who I am. You don't really get to see the bucket getter that I am. You don't get to see the versatility that I have as a player overall, right? But when I'm in Brooklyn, we're not going to be very good. So there's going to be a lot of experimenting. Me as a ball handler, because you don't really get to see that much, because we got Jamal Murray. Me as a one-on-one player, because you don't really get to see that much, because we got Joker and I'm playing off of him as a hub. Now I'm in Brooklyn. You're going to get to see a lot more of this stuff. And there's going to be some mistakes, Ox, no doubt about it. But last night, even though I think he only had 41 points in the preseason total, I mean, last night he got busy and he ended up going for like 34 and 12. MPJ has always been a good rebounder for his size. I always thought he was like a 7 to 9 a game rebounder. But with that being said, with him being in Brooklyn, now I think you're going to see more, not just of his strengths, but of his flaws too. But you're going to see more of who he is. And I think that's dope about him. Off the strength that playing on a championship team, like I don't get to show you who I really am.
Right. I mean, for a guy like MPJ, I mean, he got a ring already. He got paid already. He got a fat contract. So at this point, it's kind of like, hey, I could just play ball now. Like I can really, let my hair down. You know what I'm saying? And just have fun with it. I think you got him. You got a guy who I'm admittedly so not super high on in Cam Thomas. But, I mean, it looks like they can have a good time over there, to say the least, because, Chill, we saw what the bookmakers we saw what they got them at. They got them projected to win 21 games, Chill.
Yep.
I don't know what, like, I don't know. Like I just said, you could have fun. I don't know how fun it is to win 21 games out of 82. So I mean, that's 21 and 61. That's terrible. So
we basically, I'm losing 2/3 of the games. Yes. Yeah, we're losing over 60% of the games that we play. We're going to lose those on average.
Yes. Is that, I mean, what is it? How does that sound to you? 21, because who was it? Was it you yesterday on playback? Was it you, or maybe was that Drench that was saying that this team has a lot of guys and they actually might be a little dangerous?
Well, I think that was Drench who said that. So
okay.
let's double back to what you just said, Ox, about MPJ getting the ring. Do you think MPJ? Let's just say MPJ at his best. You think he's going to be in any legacy talks at any point in his career?
I mean, yeah, not legacy is like one of the greats. Like he won't be.
That's what I'm talking about, Ox. That
Yeah,
right there, like Reggie Miller, guys like that. You think he's going to be in any legacy talks like that?
No, he's not gonna crack anybody's top 50, top 40.
I don't think so neither.
No.
I don't think so neither. So with that being said, to your point, what it reminds me of is a guy in KCP who he was with the Lakers. He ended up winning a championship with the Lakers. Then he gets on his Denver Nuggets crew, wins another championship with them. Instead of staying there and winning more championships, he recognizes, well, shit, I'm not going to be in any legacy talks. So why not just go get paid, right? So he ends up going to Orlando for that $60 million, which I'm probably not going to see anywhere else. So let me go get this bread. MPJ, it could be the gift and the curse to win early, because it could be the gift because I already did it, but it's also the curse too, because now I'm find myself in a space where, all right, I'm just playing. Can I just play on bad teams? And this is all people are going to remember me for. They're going to forget that at one point I was a champion, but also on the flip side to that, I am a champion. This is the gift. I am a champion, and I'm probably going to garner because I get busy on other teams like Brooklyn, right? I get busy on other teams like that. I'm going to garner top dollar. I'm probably not going to be a supermax guy, but I'm definitely going to get paid. So to your point, yes, I 100% think that MPJ at some point, that's what he's thinking about. Now, as far as them 21 games, I mean, if we're being honest, they have 5 1s for a reason. Right? And I said this to you not too long ago. When I was in school, I look at them volleyball chicks and I'm like, that's who I should have been hanging around. No doubt about it. And the reason why is because I'm looking at these volleyball chicks and I'm going, I don't want to have one. Let's have a bunch of them. Let's mass produce them, because one of these dudes is going to turn out. One of them has to. I got a 6'2", 6'3" super freak athlete woman. One of the, if we have 5 of these, one of them going to turn out. Well, I'm looking at the Brooklyn Nets. They have 5 1s, Ox. We can't miss on all 5 of these dudes. Right. One of these dudes got to turn into something that we can build around. One of them has to, because if one of them doesn't, Ox, somebody got to get fired. We clearly ain't doing our job right. If one of these dudes doesn't turn into something that we can build around, there's no reason for us to keep doing what we're doing. No reason whatsoever. But as of right now, if you look at the landscape of the Eastern Conference, if you look at the landscape of the Western Conference, and mind you, the Brooklyn Nets have shown, even though being bad, right? Even though being bad, they will give you a dogfight if you come in their building. I watched them last year go up against that Houston team, found Houston in a dogfight. I watched Oklahoma City come in there. They was in a dogfight. Same thing with the Denver Nuggets. You're not just walking into Brooklyn and serving them. However, them being in the Eastern Conference, they're going to have a real tough time with all of the teams that they play in the East. They're not better than the Knicks, especially those top 6, 7 teams. Ox, if I'm taking the under on this 21 wins. I am. I'm taking the under. Yes, I'm taking the under, because what's going to end up happening, Ox, is we're going to get a bunch of shots up. It's going to be a lot of fun. Let's be clear about that. We're going to get a bunch of shots up. We're going to play fast. We're going to score a lot of points. It ain't going to lead to nothing, if I'm being honest with you. It's not. It's not going to lead to a lot of wins, but I can tell you right now, it's going to be fun. Yes, sir. It's going to be fun. I'm taking the under.
I don't want to put a number on it, y'all. I don't want to put a number on it. I don't want to do that. I can't say over 100, because 21 is, that's abysmal. That's terrible. That's like it's very bad. We've seen worse. My thing is, Brooklyn's clearly one of the worst teams in the NBA. You know what I mean? So I just
well, if you I can hear you.
Okay. So y'all, I would say, I got. They're the worst. They're the worst team. Chill. Like, I think the Hornets are better than them. I think the Wizards are better than them. That's my personal opinion. So
you think Utah's better than them?
Oh yeah, Utah's chill. I don't think Utah is as bad as y'all think Utah is.
I don't think Utah is neither, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I don't think Utah's as bad as a lot of people think they are. But nah, yeah. I'd have to say the Brooklyn Nets are the worst team in the NBA. Chill. With all due respect to my Brooklyn brothers, I love y'all, but. Oh, no, sir. No, sir.
I'm not
sold on that squad.
This is what I'm thinking, because, again, it's going to be a lot of fun with this group getting up shots. One thing that I recognized just last season alone, if you think you just going to dog it with Jordy Fernandez, your ass going to be parked right on the bench.
Right.
He's not trying to hear that. He is going to get guys who are going to play. We might not win a lot of games, but I can tell you one thing that's not going to happen. You're not going to see a lack of effort, right? You are not going to see a lack of effort. So if you think that you're going to play for Jordy Fernandez and you're just going to come in and get a bunch of shots and you're not going to play the right way, nah, that's not going to happen. These guys are going to compete. The problem is that they don't have the talent, unfortunately, to compete night in and night out with the better teams. That's the problem, and they are going to lose a lot of games. No doubt about that. But if you look at the talent that they have, all right, you got MPJ, you got Cam, you got one of the best defensive players in the game. In why am I drawing a blank on his name?
Nick Claxton.
Nick Claxton. Yeah, you got one of the better defensive players in the game, and Nick Claxton. With that being said, they should be able to compete. But in the NBA, one of the things that I found out that you need elite perimeter play, which they don't have. You need elite defense. They only got one guy, and he can't make up for all of those guys. They can't, because Cam Thomas does not play defense at all. No, he doesn't. MPJ will rebound, but that's about it. With that being said, you need elite perimeter play. You need defense. You need good rotation players. Like I just said, they got 5 1s. So we don't even know what these rotation players look like. Right? You need an elite bench. You need a good bench. And I just don't think that they have the things necessary in order to be viable. So like I said, Ox, I'm taking the under on those 21 wins. I think Jordy Fernandez is going to do a hell of a job coaching his ass off. He just doesn't have the personnel, just like Will Hardy in Utah. He just doesn't have the personnel to do it. He's going to coach his ass off, though. You can bet your last money on that. He is.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Jordy not just going to stand around and watch and just let it happen, but he doesn't have much of a choice, if you ask me. I'm just not buying it. I'm not buying it at all. You know what? Let's kick it off. I mean, we're still early in the show, but we got some people in the lobby already. Let's get to the lobby a little early, man. Let's see my man Frank in the back. Let's see what Frank got for us. Frank, what's up?
What up, Chilltown? What up, Big Ox Media in the building? Obviously, I just want to drop in and say hi. I'm obviously always in the chat. What up, Chill?
What up? What up?
How's it going today, man?
Running good, brother. Running good. Just talking some hoops. That's what we're doing here today. What's going on? What's on your mind, brother?
Nothing much. I just wanted to. I saw that you guys dropped the link, so I wanted to hop in and just talk hoops as well. But if you want me to find a topic to talk about, I can find a topic.
That's what we doing up here. We talking hoops, man. We seeing what's going on with you. That's why you came through. So what's going on, brother? What's on your mind?
I gotta really think about. I gotta think about a topic to really talk about right now. I mean, if I gotta figure something out, in terms of.
By the way, Ox, this is the dude that want to sell me life insurance. Like he kind of like if I'm in the room.
Yeah. Well, I know Frank.
If Frank, if you want to sell me life insurance, I mean, like, you got to be on point. Man.
If you know what I mean.
I am getting older, no question about that. And I got pretty good life insurance right now. But I'm thinking about you coming up here and you kind of. Now, you ain't dropping the ball, but you're kind of fumbling it a little bit because you get in front of the mic and you're trying to sell me something. So, like what you selling me, Frank? What's going on, man? Why should I get on board with you, brother?
Well, no, chill. This is my thing. I ain't trying to sell you nothing. It's not about selling you something. It's about putting something in place so that when the day does eventually come, you obviously got to get something in place. So that
Frank, real quick, Frank. Let's keep it hoop though for now. Y'all can connect on that on another time. Frank, let me just get the take from you real quick. Let me see who you got coming out the East, who do you got coming out the West, and let me get your MVP as well.
MVP this year, I'm gonna go Jokic. I just think stats wise, it's gonna be insane. It's either gonna be him or Shea again. So I'm gonna stick to Jokic. Okay. Coming out of the West, I got OKC, and coming out the East, this is tough, man. I gotta go Knicks. Yeah, Knicks, and then my NBA champion is gonna be Thunder. I just think that defense of squad guys is just literally too much. They're just too young. They're just too fast. They have a great coach, and their point guard. He's just locked in always. He's just always locked in. He leads by example. I love Shea. I think Shea is the next Kobe. I really do. So
wow, they win it. And I don't think there's anything wrong with. To be honest with you, I never thought there was anything wrong with Shea saying that. He wanted to be better than Kobe. Kobe said he wanted to be better than Jordan. So what? What's the big deal? Why can't you do that? You can 100% do that. Now, don't get me wrong. There was people who roasted Kobe for that. Like, yo, who you think you are wanting to be better than Jordan? Jordan wanted to be better than Doc. So what? What's the big deal?
Fine.
Right? What's the big deal? I don't see it. I don't take issue with it at all. No, I do not. So good to talk to you, Frank. We appreciate you, brother. Absolutely, my man. No doubt.
So much, guys.
Yes, sir.
Chill. If you're a superstar in the league and you're not looking at the guys before you, like, I mean, I'm better than him. I don't even, with all due respect, I don't want you around here then. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're not overly confident in your basketball ability, I'm gonna be like, well, were you even in the gym? Like, when you spend that much time in the lab, the type of time in the lab that I know Shea put in, right? I know Shea was in the gym. When you're in the gym from 11, 12, 13 years old, and you're putting in extra work, you're getting up early, you're getting your sit-ups, getting your push-ups, you're running that extra mile on the weekends. You know what I'm saying? You're traveling all over the country playing in tournaments, and you're seeing the best of the best at 15, 16 years old. If you don't think you're that guy, then there's something wrong with you. When you have high expectations of yourself, Chill. I'm sure, Chill, a bunch of times coming up, you had a goal that even you were like, this is gonna be tough, and I'm gonna do everything I can to get there. And you said that to somebody, and somebody was like, come on, Jay. Like, you can't, what are you talking about? You know what I mean? Right. Like that's the response I want when I set a goal for myself. When I set a goal for myself, I want my sister and my mom and my homeboys to be like, well, yeah, okay. That's the response I was looking for. Now I know I'm aiming high enough. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I'm watching Big East basketball. I'm watching college basketball on ESPN, and I'm like, I'm better than him. I can do that. I absolutely could do that. And there's some people that's like, no, you can. I'm like, yes, I clearly am on the right page because I'm saying this, and there's people. I've always said that if you ain't got haters, then you ain't doing it right. I've always said that. If you don't have people that's doubting you, then you're not doing it right because you're aiming high enough. And for a guy like you said, SGA, you have to come in like that. You have to see that's your inspiration. I want to be nice like that. I'm better than that, right? You can see, and it's okay to say that. Now, you might not say it early on, but eventually you saying to yourself, I'm better than him. I'm better than that right there. So ain't nothing wrong with that. I don't take issue with it at all. At all, do I take issue with it? Nope.
Not at all. Okay, Chill. So before we went live, I told you I was gonna look for win totals, over and under predictions, right?
Yeah,
so
you did
I got from Sports Bet MGM, and I got a couple. Chill. Are there any teams specifically that you want to hear about, maybe, or I'll just run a couple down to you as a matter of fact.
How about we stick with the East? Because I want to quiet down this Eastern Conference's whack narrative. I think that's corny.
Okay.
I do.
Let's do the East.
I want to quiet that down. Yeah, let's do the East.
So they got the cities in alphabetical order. So we're gonna start with Atlanta. Atlanta's win total, we got 46.5.
46.5. And that includes that includes this season, considering what they did last year. And last year they were beat up. And with them being as beat up as they were, they ended up winning 40 games. So 46.5. I'm going to take the over on that, Ox, because I think the third seed, I think it's going to take close. I think it's going to take close. The third, fourth seed, I think it's going to take close to 50 games to get to that third, fourth seed. So I'm going to take the over on Atlanta, considering everything that they have. They got, I think this is the most talented unit that Trae Young has been on. I think they've upgraded the roster with KP and Nickeil Alexander-Walker. I'm going to take the over.
Okay. The Boston Celtics are at 41.5.
Okay, Ox, 41.5. I just want to run this down to you real quick, Ox. I lost my starting point guard. I lost my best player. I lost my starting 5-man, and I also lost my starting 4-man. That's what I lost. And you telling me that, right? Essentially, that's what and I replaced it with less than guys. And last year they won 61 games. Is that a 20 win? Were those guys responsible for at least 20 wins? Yes. So if you're telling me that what is it, 40, Ox?
41.5.
I'm gonna take the under on that 41. Yeah. I'm gonna take the under on that 41. I think it's anywhere between 36 to 40 games that they win. I'm taking the under on that.
Okay. And then we just talked about Brooklyn having 21. So, but this is MGM. MGM has them at 19.5. You took the under on the 21, Chill. So unless you think they're going to win 20 games, I'm assuming you're going to take the under on 19.5 as well.
I'm going to take the over because I think that's where they are. I think they're anywhere between 19 to 22 games, but not on the 22 side. I think less than that. I think that it's anywhere between 19 and 20 games. I think they're going to be bad, Ox. I do. I think this Brooklyn Nets team is going to be bad. I'll take the over. I'll take the 20 games, but that's as far as I'm going with them. I ain't going past 20. Nope.
Okay. Charlotte Hornets, 27.5.
27.5. So LaMelo Ball has played 36 games on average over the last 3 years. There's no evidence to suggest that he's going to play anymore. They won 19 games last year, so a 7-game improvement. 27.5. I'm going to take the under. I got them winning 25 games this year. I think they're going to be bad again. Yeah, okay. I'm going to take the under on them.
Chicago Bulls, 33.5.
I'm going to take the over on Chicago. I think that Josh Giddey is going to be so much better this season. I think that this kid Basellis is going to give them a lift that they didn't have last year. He gives them a box scorer. He gives them a transition guy. He gives them a guy that plays in the mid-range and in the mid-post way better. But I think the catalyst to this, because the French kid, I don't think he's ready yet, Ox. I don't think that the French kid is ready yet. But with Kobe White, with Basellis, as of right now, this team last season, I think they won 39 games. You told me 36 this season, Ox?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take the over. I think that they get around where they were last year, around 40 games.
No, I'm sorry, 30. So 33.5, actually, not 36. They had them at 33.
Yeah,
I'm
going to take the over. I think they can win anywhere between 36 to 40 games this year. Yes.
Okay. And here we go with our first. This is the first team that they have over 50 wins, and that's none other than the Cleveland Cavaliers. They have them at 56.5.
I'm going to take the over on 56. I think that they win 60 games this year.
Okay.
Evan Mobley is back. Evan Mobley is back with a newfound vigor. I think this Donovan Mitchell slander, I think he's going to do something about that. Yes, I'm going to take the over, and I think they win 60 games this year.
Yeah, so I think the Donovan Mitchell slander is out of control. Now, yesterday when we were doing the list, yes, I do still have Devin Booker over Donovan Mitchell, but to me, that's not slander. Devin Booker is just really that dude to me. So
that's always been a conversation, though, Ox. Devin Booker and Donovan Mitchell. That's always been a conversation.
Their careers are tied together. Just basically,
that's always been a conversation.
Being the top guys. But okay, so over 56.5 for the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Yep. It ain't like you telling me that Donovan Mitchell and Jalen Green are a conversation. You ain't doing that with me. No, right. What you are doing with me is Devin Booker and Donovan Mitchell. All right, we can do that. We can have that conversation. Anthony Edwards. I bet.
Now with that being said, though, if you would have asked me, before Jalen Green got into the league, I did think by today, I did think that was going to be a conversation. I was that high on Jalen Green when he was. Yeah, before I'm talking about before he got the prolific prep his senior year. I'm talking about junior year in high school when he was in Fresno hanging on rims. I said that kid's going to be an MVP by his 5th year in the NBA.
He's going to be that good.
I was sold on Jalen Green for sure. Who's next? Okay, no, not Dallas, not Denver. We're sticking to the East. Detroit, the Detroit Pistons. Now this is a team that was about to lose if it wasn't for Toronto. They were going to lose 40 games straight just 2 seasons ago. But now, BetMGM has them at 46.5 wins.
I'm going to take the over. I think they win close to 50 games. If they don't win, if they don't, well, let me take that back. They got them at 46.
46.5.
I want to make sure that because I got Atlanta at winning close to 50 games. To be honest with you, I'm going to take the push, Ox, because I think that's what it's going to take. Because I got them as the 5th seed in the East. Right, okay. I got them as the 5th seed in the East, and the 5th seed in the East is good enough for about between 45 to 48 wins. So they have 46. I'm going to take the over. I can see 47. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll take the over. I can see 47 wins. Yes.
So the Pistons at 46.5. Now they got a team that's just a little south of them in Indiana at 37.5. The Indiana Pacers at 37.5. They lost their starting point guard, lost their starting 5 as well. So
I'm taking the over. Not the over. I'm sorry. I'm taking the under on them. 37.5. 37.5 in the Eastern Conference last season gets you the 9 seed. And to lose your starting point guard, who was the engine to your offense, and then losing your stretch 5, who was your best rim protector, and losing your backup 5 in Bryant, and you replaced it with a guy coming off an Achilles injury, Obi Toppin, who doesn't really rebound like that. On top of that, Nembhard, who I don't think he's the offensive engine that Tyrese Halliburton is. Ox, I'm taking the under. I think that they went, what is it? What did you say, 33 wins?
No, 37.5.
I'm taking the under. I think we anywhere between 33 to 35 wins.
Sheesh. Okay. Our next team actually has the same exact line. Down in South Beach, they got the Miami Heat at 37.5. That's so disrespectful.
It is. It 100% is. I think that this Miami, because it's basically the same. It's the same as what they had last year, and
with Norman Powell.
Khalil Ware got better. Looks great playing alongside of Bam. You're gonna have Andrew Wiggins for the entire season. It looks like Tyler Hero could be available for opening night. He probably won't, but he's not going to be out for a whole month like we thought. So I'm going to take the over on them. I think that they win more than 37 games.
Yeah, I'll do as well.
Yep.
Okay, so that's Miami. Okay, here we go. Now, this is what the people want to hear from you, because you've been high on this team, and every time I speak down on them, you're quick to push back. Now, I want to know, Chill, where do you have the Milwaukee Bucks? I don't even want to give you their line. I want you to place their line, and I'm gonna tell you what they got.
So they got last season Milwaukee won 48 games, and I think this team this season, because like KPJ, Trent, now they got Kyle Kuzma for the whole season. Now they've actually improved with Miles Turner, because if Damian Lillard is on the roster, they're not able to do anything. So I think that with 48 wins, I think that's a bit much, but I think that they're right around there. I think that they're right around between 45 and 47 wins. That's where they are.
45 to 47. So
plus,
Chill,
I got the best player in the conference. On top of that, I don't got a good player. I got the best player in the conference. So
Joel's back.
I think yes, Joel is back, but he ain't Giannis. No, he is not.
Right on. Okay, so if you take 45 to 48, that means you are taking the over on the Milwaukee Bucks, because they have them at 43 and they have.
Nah, they better than that, because off the strength of them having the best player in the conference and playing with the guys that he's playing with this season. Because I know how you feel about this roster, Ox. You're not really high on this roster, and rightfully so. I understand it's a couple of guys who are unproven, but I feel like AJ Green, getting him back in the fold, I think that's a big deal. Having Bobby Portis as one of the best rotation guys in the league. I got the best player in the conference in Giannis Antetokounmpo. On top of that, I said this to you in the past, Ox. KPJ, no matter where he plays, he plays. One of the better get to the bucket, one of the better mid-range bucket getters that I've seen at the league guard spot. He's had some nonsense going on with him in the past. But with that being said, he is a baller. Gary Trent is one of the smartest ball players on this unit, that I think that he's going to play within himself. And I think it's going to work for them. So I'm definitely taking the over on those 43 wins. I think we anywhere between 45 and 48 wins.
Okay. Okay, for sure. Only got 5 more teams left in the East, y'all. We're getting through these. The New York Knickerbockers are at 53.5. Chill. Will they win more than 53 and 3.5 games?
I could see them winning 55 games. Yeah, I could see the Knicks winning 55 games this year. Mike Brown comes in, he changes that offense. He gets Jalen Brunson more involved as a distributor and as a playmaker more than as a bucket getter. Don't get me wrong. I do think that he's still going to be a bucket getter, but I think that he's involved. Watching a couple of preseason games, I think he's involved Mikal Bridges more in the offense. And in addition to involving Mikal Bridges more in the offense, he also involved that point guard. I love the fact that Jordan Clarkson comes off the bench and it's just instant offense. I love that. And he's not their first guy coming off the bench. They got 2 other guys in front of him, in Josh Hart and Miles. And those 2 guys come in and they give different kinds of energy. I could definitely see this team winning 55 games, considering everything that they have. Yeah.
Okay. Next, we have the actual best team in the conference, the Orlando Magic, at 51.5.
I'm not as high as a lot of you guys are on Orlando. I don't think they're there yet. I don't.
Mhm.
And the 51.5, could they win more than that? I mean, I think they could, but I think that we're going to be I'm going to take the over. And what I mean when I say I'm going to take the over, Ox, I'm going to slightly take the over because I got them as the 3rd seed in the East. I think they win anywhere between 49 and 52 games. That's where I think that they are. I don't think Paolo is there. What I think Paolo is a top 10, arguably a top 5 player at some point. And I think that point is coming really soon. Like within the next 3 years, I think Paolo is a top 10, arguably a top 5 player. I think he's a 30, 10, and 6 guy at some point in his career. I think he's going to be awesome, but I don't think they're there yet. I still have to. I've seen the improvement from France in terms of fixing the hitch in his shot. My biggest issue with them, Ox, you and I have had this conversation. Mars and I have had this conversation. Ron and I have had this conversation. In today's game, my lead guard has to be able to score 13, 14 a game, especially if we're playing at a high level. You got to average 30.
Do that?
I don't think he can. I don't think 14 is enough. That's not enough. I need between 18 to 22 from my lead guard because what's going to happen, Ox, is we're going to get in games where he might have to close games. I saw Darius Garland do that last season. I saw Darius Garland in New York City go at Jalen Brunson and close the game with no Donovan Mitchell on the floor. We're going to need nights where Jalen Suggs has to close games, where he's got to shut the door because Paolo doesn't have it going tonight. France doesn't have it going. My lead guard has to shut the door, and I need you to be able to score. You don't have to average 30. I'm not saying that, but you got to score it at a relatively high clip. And I don't think Jalen Suggs can do that consistently. That's why I'm not as high as I should be, or as not as I should be. That's why I'm not as high as you guys are on the Orlando Magic. I think defensively they're going to be one of the better teams in the game. But in terms of a backcourt player, in terms of a scoring point guard, I don't think he's there yet. That's why I'm not as high as I should be on, as you guys are on them. Let me rephrase that.
Okay, no doubt. I hear you on that. Now this team is a little tricky, I think, because I was super low on this team when we talked about our East rankings this week.
Mm-hmm.
But now that I see the title of the show, the topic of the show, Joel Embiid's return, which we're going to talk about more here in a second. The Philadelphia 76ers, too, they have them at 42.5.
You should have seen Ox last night.
Don't forget you, VJ Edgecombe.
Y'all should have seen Ox last night when Joel Embiid took that thing off the glass and went with it. Y'all should have seen Ox eyes got this big because it was like, am I seeing? Is the big fella back? Is the big fella back? I don't know. Is the big fella back? Well, if we can get, what is it? What are we looking at, Ox? 42, 43 wins?
42.5, yeah.
42.5. Well, number one, I want to start the conversation with, we talk about Joel Embiid because, sure, he's the engine of this crew, Ox. I'm not going to argue that point. He is everything that they are. We keep forgetting that they got one of the best point guards in the league in Tyrese Maxey. He is fantastic. One of the best downhill guards in the game. One of the best stop and pop guards in the game. One of the best transition guards in the game who can pass. Now, you couple that with this kid, VJ Edgecombe, who, Ox, to be honest with you, I'm starting to question, did I get this? Because at the rookie of the year, I had Trey Johnson, and I'm thinking to myself, did I get this wrong? Because I'm watching this kid Edgecombe, and I'm thinking to myself, he might be the rookie of the year. I can appreciate what I said about Cooper Flagg, no doubt about that. But I'm watching this kid, VJ Edgecombe, and one, his confidence is through the roof. You just said it to me when you're talking about being confident. He steps on the floor like he belongs. I'm nice as any one of you dudes out here. And I'm going to show it. He looks to shoot the basketball at a high level, and he does. He gets downhill with the best of them, with the best of these rooks. He plays in traffic. He can play through contact, which I love. On defense, there's no question that he's going to compete. And I love that about him. On defense, he's going to compete. I'm already on record saying that I'm down to move off of both Paul George and Joel Embiid and build my unit around these two guards right here. I'm already on record saying that. But with that being said, Joel Embiid looks great in terms of his body. He looks great in terms of being in shape. I think he might have dropped like 15 pounds. He looks a lot lighter. He looks a lot lighter on his feet. He looks healthier. If I can get, he already said he's not playing back-to-backs, which is going to be a problem. That's why the 42 games, I'm going to take the over. I'm going to say 43. That's as far as I'm going.
Okay.
I'm not going past 43 games. That's it.
That's plus 500, y'all. So, hey, maybe the process is still processing. Let's check it out. I'm here for it.
Me too.
Okay, another team we saw last night, the Toronto Raptors. They have them 39.5.
Well, one of these teams, but I mean, like everybody can't win 40+ games. That's not going to happen. And Ox, you're bigger on Brandon Ingram than I am. I'm not as big on Brandon Ingram as you are. I remember when he first came in the league, and he showed that he could be one of the best bucket getters that the game has seen. But I believe the young people call it diet, and I think he's a diet KD. That's what I think he is. I think he's a guy who, when he's got it going, he gets buckets with the best of them. But when he doesn't, I mean, he doesn't really do much outside of that. I watched him last night, and he did look solid. He looked like he could still knock down an open shot. He still looked like he can get past guys. Manuel Quigley is healthy. Scotty Barnes actually looked viable last night. He looked really efficient. Defensively, they still have a problem in the hole. They do. They still have a problem at the 5 spot. So I think that's going to come to bite them throughout the course of the season. I'm going to take the under on these 39 wins. I think that they're a play-in team, and I'm going to go 38. That's as far as I'm going.
Okay. No doubt. I can see. I mean, I really don't know. I'm gonna just leave that one alone. Next, last but not least, the Washington Wizards. They have the Washington Wizards at 20.5.
They're not going to be that bad, Joe. I don't believe that they're going to be that bad. I think that they're going to be a lot better. I mean, like a 2-game improvement. See, Ox, what happens? This is what gets my blood pressure up. What happens when y'all do stuff like this is, and I don't mean you specifically, when they do stuff like this, they don't anticipate the guys that's already there getting better. They don't anticipate that. They only look at what they've added to the crew instead of those guys on the crew. For example, Alex Sarr is going to be better this season. I think he's going to contribute much more to winning. I think that mid-range, I think that's going to be better. I think defensively, he's better. He's going to be a better rebounder. I think he's going to be a double-double guy this year. In terms of a double-double, I mean a better double-double guy. I think his screen navigation is going to be better. I think his drop coverage is going to be better. I think his rim protection is going to be better. A.J. Johnson is one of the better bucket getters that they have. I think he's going to be even better. Add him into getting TJ, right? Add him into the kid from Texas, right? So, I mean, I just think that this team this season, I think that this team this season, I look at this group and I'm thinking to myself with Trey, he is the consummate open shot maker. You run action for him, you get him involved in the offense, he's going to be productive. Then you got your vets, right? You got your vets in Middleton. And with a guy like Middleton, it's pretty impossible if you got a vet like that not to learn from him, right? Then you got guys like I said, Chris Middleton, CJ McCollum is the consummate pro, and these guys are gonna do everything that they can to help these young guys get better. So 20 games out with these two dudes on the crew, they definitely winning more than 20 games. I'm taking the over. Okay. Definitely winning more than 20 games.
I think I'm with you on that one, Chill. I'm with you on that. They're definitely winning over 20.5 for sure. See, we got a couple of guys in the lobby. We're definitely going to get to y'all very soon. I want to talk about the title of the show. I want to talk about Joel Embiid's return, which we saw last night. We didn't watch the whole game because we were tapped into the Oklahoma City Thunder versus the Denver Nuggets, which was a heck of a game. Ended in a buzzer-beating game winner. That was a heck of a game. But I want to tell y'all right now to make sure if you're watching this video that you're supporting the channel and liking the video. Likes go a very long way. Just watching, which we appreciate, y'all, I need you to like the video. If you're watching on Twitter, repost it. Like it there too. Man, Spread the love. We're over here having real good hoop talks, and everybody deserves to watch it. So why don't y'all do me a favor? Trigger the algorithm, like the video, share the video, spread the love. We're growing at PC, and we want y'all to help us as much as possible. Thank you for being here. Thank you for tapping in. We know you don't have to.
No, you don't.
Chill. Joel Embiid. I was shocked because I had no idea he was going to be playing yesterday. I didn't find that out until yesterday morning on the panel. I thought Joel still had like 4 weeks left before we were actually going to see him on the court, right? Pleasantly surprised, Chill. As soon as we turned on the game, what happens? He gets a long board, coast to coast, step through, boom, contact, bucket. Chill. When he was running up that court, I noticed looked a little slimmer. A lot of people say when you have knee issues, the best way to help with your knee issues is dropping weight. Drop some pounds. I would go as far to say, look like Joel may have dropped 25 of them. I don't know.
Maybe 30?
Maybe.
Like if you had to guess off the top of your head, what do you think his playing weight is right now? Like what you saw him yesterday, what does he look like?
That's hard for me to say, Chill, because I really don't know how heavy he is. I want to say maybe 265.
I was gonna say 275. Actually, that's where I was gonna go with him. I was gonna say 275 because that's what he looks like. And that, to be honest with you, Ox, that looks like a good playing weight for him. In fact, guys his size, that was the playing weight. Chamberlain played at 275. David Robinson played at around 265, 270. Ewing played at about 265, 270. Joel Embiid, I think at one point Joel Embiid was at like 290. 295, there was even a stretch where he was over 300. I think what the way he looks right now, I think this is a damn good playing weight for him. Now, here's the thing, Ox. I don't think that there's any of us, you in particular, because you and me have gone back and forth with Joel Embiid. I don't think that we've ever questioned Joel Embiid's game.
Right.
Joel Embiid has the issue with Joel Embiid has always been his health. And I've said this countless times. If I'm not in the best of health, it messes with my confidence because I'm not able to burst like I want to. I'm not able to attack like I want to. I'm not able to really play the way I want to because my body doesn't feel like I want it to feel for me to be to give maximum effort on the glass as an offensive player, driving to the rim, facing you up, busting your ass to the basket, things like that because, my knee hurts. So I don't really feel as confident in that. My back hurts. So I don't really feel like getting pushed around in the paint because, in the words of my man Big Ox, it's a jungle down there, right? Yes, so if I got a bad back, or if I'm hurting, I'm not really sure if I want to go in there. But if I feel my best, and when we've seen Joel Embiid when he's healthy, he's a 30-10 guy. He's a 29-11 guy. This is who he is. So I never questioned whether or not Joel Embiid can play. My issue is, and will always be, I think he made a glass. That's my issue with him. If he can hold up, like what I saw last night, because last night looked very promising. A guy getting the ball off the glass and going with it. That's the older Joel Embiid, right? That's the Joel Embiid of old. That's not old Joel Embiid. That's the Joel Embiid of old. On top of that, having this kid VJ Edgecombe looking the way he did in transition, competing on defense, and on top of that, with their rotation guys, I mean, this kid Quentin Grimes comes in the game and he's ready to rock. I love that about Quentin Grimes. He comes in, he gives the energy that's necessary in order for them to win. Quentin Grimes comes off screens, he's looking to knock down open shots. I love that about him. Kelly O, once they get him back in the fold, he's going to be great. And they got a backup in Andre Drummond, who will get on the glass and give you quality minutes. So I think that this team, in terms of the way that they're put together, I think this team can win a bunch of games, but it's all predicated on the health of Joel Embiid. You notice that I didn't say much about Paul George. And the reason why I didn't say much about Paul George is because Paul George is another one in terms of his health. And I think people still see Paul George like that, but Joel Embiid is younger than him. So I'm counting on Joel Embiid a little bit more than I am Paul George.
Yeah, me too. Sure. So last night, Joel played 19 minutes. He had 14 points, 8 assists, 7 rebounds, and 3 steals. He went 2 for 2 from the free throw line, 2 for 4 from 3, and 5 from 10 from the field. So just to throw some numbers out there, y'all. Just to throw some numbers. He almost had a triple-double in 19 minutes.
Ox, the thing that was the most encouraging to me with Joel Embiid was just him being on the floor. and him looking like he wasn't hurting. Ox, you saw him in the Olympics and you said to me, what is he doing on it? What is he doing out there? Why didn't y'all send him home? There was no reason for him to be on that floor. He was dragging. Last night, he looked more athletic. He looked like he had some bounce to him. And this is the Joel Embiid that I'm looking for, a guy that's going to be able to compete. My question is he going to be able to hold up? Because if he's able to hold up, Joel Embiid is a 25-10 guy. I waking up in the morning, just rolling out of bed, I think he's a 25-10 guy. Just like that. Now, 30, I think you asking a lot for a guy who's come off 2 injury-riddled seasons. I think that's asking a lot. But like I said, last night, the thing that I was paying the most attention to with him particularly is the fact that he just looked more athletic. He looked like he had some bounce in him. And in addition to him looking like he has some bounce in him, he looks like he's getting that mean Joel Embiid back. And I like that about him. But we're going to see, because you guys know how I feel about him. I'm not sure if he's going to hold up. We'll see.
Yeah, I do want to say that though, Chill. What you just said, that mean Joel Embiid, that's the Joel Embiid we want to see. When he's out there and he's asserting his dominance, that's the Joel Embiid that we love. Like I said a second ago, y'all, we are going to get to the lobby. Let's see, we got Classic in the back. I saw Classic in the chat talking about as long as the team has Derek White, they'll never win less than 42 games. Let's see what Classic got to say.
Good luck with that.
What's up, brother?
Yo, what up, guys?
What up?
What up? Yeah, I'm a huge Derek White fan, and I love his game, and I like what I'm seeing from the Celtics. I wish they had a real big, but I think with that system, I think they'll figure it out. Especially they've won 60 games like back-to-back years, so I just can't sleep on the team. Just they lost a few players, but they know they got a good system.
A few?
They know how to win games. Yeah,
a few though, Classic
players.
I mean, they got their core got gutted. Four their starting 5 guys are out. 4 of them.
Yeah, I mean that Drew Holiday. I wish we could have kept him, but he's making a lot of money. Kristaps Porzingis, I didn't never liked him. I wish we would have kept Luke Cornett over him. I think that Luke Cornett was a huge loss. But like I said, I think with that system, they've been doing this they've been running the East for a few years. They had a down year last year in the playoffs, but in the regular season, they know how to win games in the regular season. So I know they're going to be at least a top 6 seed. I'm not worried about the play-in or anything.
You said that they know how to win games. They meaning Derek White,
Jaylen Brown, Joe Mazzulla. That's still a part of their core.
One of the main reasons why they were able to win games because of the talent that they had with Jason Tatum, right? I know how you felt about Porzingis, but I can't negate the fact that he was still integral to what they were doing. He was one of their better box scorers. He was one of the best box scorers in the game, not just one of their better box scorers. He was one of the best box scorers in the game, one of the best stretch 5s in the game. In addition to him, Al Horford was also that. In addition to being a rebounder and a defender, like when you have stuff like your best perimeter defender in Drew Holiday is now gone, that's a huge breakup, and your best player. So I can appreciate the idea that they know how to win. Because yes, 100%, Joe Mazzulla does know how to win. Jaylen Brown does know how to win. Derek White does know how to win. But they know how to win with the guys that they had. With them guys being gone, now I gotta work with Anthony Simons and Kata, right? I gotta work with guys like that in order to get to 45 wins in the Eastern Conference. Good luck. Good luck with that.
Till you always say that. You always say that teams let go of guys too early instead of making them get better. Is this not the year that the Celtics should make Kata get better? Is this ain't the year that the Celtics should make those young guys get better? You don't think that they don't have the coaching staff in the system to make those guys get better? Like you don't think Kata can take a huge leap this year? Because he looked pretty decent last year, and he's gonna get more minutes this year because they don't have a real big. So you don't think Kata can be like I don't want to say dominant, but I think he could crash the offensive glass.
I can get with that. Sure,
a good presence in the paint with his size. I think he's going to take a big jump this year.
Well, the difference with what you just said, like I'm thinking about a guy like Khalil Ware. The reason why Khalil Ware takes the next step this season because he was integral with Miami last year. He was getting heavy minutes. He was playing a lot. To say that Kata can take a big leap, that means that Kata is going to have to play way more, which he should, but that also means that implementing him, well, he hasn't seen that yet, right? Khalil Ware actually saw that last year, where they were going to him, where he was playing, where he was on the glass, where he was one of their better defenders. I think asking Cater to do something that he's not accustomed to, even in the summertime, I think asking him to do that and take a big jump, I think he could take a jump on the glass. I think he could take a jump as a putback guy. I think he could take a jump in terms of his touch being around the rim. But for what they need in terms of a 5-man being that much better, I think you're asking a lot right now. That's not to say that it won't be like that in maybe a year or 2 years, but I think right now, I think you're asking a lot.
Yeah, man. Well, y'all know how I feel about D. White, man. I said he's the modern day Ginobili. I think he's a dark horse to make an All NBA team this year. I think that's the type of player he's going to be. I think he's going to be a guy that can get probably like 20 points, like 6 assists, 4 rebounds, and I think he can stick on that All NBA team this year.
Okay. Classic, the only problem with that is you can't win 40 games to get 2 people on All NBA team.
Well, I think they're going to win 45 plus games this year. Like, the ceiling I have for them is I think it's possible they can be the number 1 seed this year. But I think I think the floor is going to be the 6th seed. So
wait, what?
I think
you just said that the Celtics losing 45 starters.
It's a possibility they can be the number 1 seed.
They could go right back. They could go right back.
If the Miami Heat got the number 1 seed all those years when they had Jimmy Butler, I don't think, if you look on paper, those rosters wasn't great. I think the Celtics can have a sneaky year like what the Miami Heat did those years when they were in the finals and they were the number 1 seed. That's just how. I mean, they won almost 70 games 2 years in a row. You don't think them guys can get the number 1 seed if the East has a down year in the record? Like, I don't think
they don't have anything like Bam over there. That Jimmy Butler and this Jaylen Brown are comparable. Tyler Hero is better than Derek White.
How is he better than Derek White though? Ux? You're talking about a guy that's made an all defensive team, and he's a top 5 3-point shooter in the league, in a team that shoots the most threes. You don't think that's a recipe for success?
If Tyler Hero was over there shooting threes like that, you don't think he'd be a top 5 3-point shooter in the league?
No, sir.
No, he wouldn't, and he also wouldn't be the defender that
so?
right here. Derek White had 4 blocks. He just had 4 blocks in a preseason game as a guard.
Let's speak. Wait a minute, Ox. Don't let him off the hook with this. Yes. So I mean, they end up blowing out a Cleveland team who 8 of their guys were already gone, right? So I'm not buying that at all. And on top of that, Derek White, as good a defender as he is, and I'm not going to argue that point, he did have guys on that crew to protect him, just like Drew Holiday had guys to protect him. Now we're going to see with him on this crew what kind of defender he really is, because he doesn't have those guys to make up for the stuff that they made up for in seasons past. That's not going on. And to my point about Tyler Hero playing in that system wide open with that much space, being the above the break shooter that he is, being the stop and pop shooter that he is, I'm 100% confident Tyler Hero would be one of the better 3-point shooters in the game if he played on that Celtic team. No doubt about it. No doubt.
And also real quick, y'all know Tatum coming back this year. So I think they can keep things afloat until Tatum comes back. He's coming back.
No, he's not.
He's coming back this year. All right, man. Y'all have a good one, man.
Mm-hmm. All right, brother. I do respect how Classic, really is really down for his basketball team. I feel the same way about mine, so I can't down him for that. But the Derek White over Tyler Hero thing, that's about as egregious as it can get. I would never thought I'd hear that. Never thought I'd hear somebody say Derek White's better than Tyler Hero.
That's the first time I heard that too, to be honest with you. Yeah.
But let's see. We got Marcus from 626. Yo, Marcus, what's up?
What's up, y'all? Wait, can y'all hear me?
You're a little low. Try to speak into the mic a little, to the best as you can.
Hold on, let me take this off. Can y'all hear me now?
There you go. Let's go.
All right, bet. Yeah. Well, yeah. Next time I see y'all, the season has already been started. A couple games have already been played, so I'm excited for that. So, what we doing? Predictions for the East and West or something like that?
We just talking ball, brother. Whatever you got. I mean, we were talking about Joel Embiid coming back yesterday.
Right.
We mentioned some of the over under stuff in the East. We just talking ball, bro. Whatever you got.
Yeah, I like how Embiid looked yesterday. I don't like how he fell yesterday and how he was holding his knees. I was a little bit concerned about that. I think they'll probably they'll probably flare up again if he has another fall like that, which I'm not, I'm scared of that. But for the predictions for the Eastern Conference, for people that can go to the Eastern Conference Finals, I think it's a couple teams that can actually make it. I think Cleveland, of course, can make it. I think the Atlanta Hawks can make it. The New York Knicks, even the Detroit Pistons, even the Orlando Magic. But the thing with and the reason why I have all these teams, and the reason why I don't have Cleveland Cavaliers as a lock for the Eastern Conference Finals is, based on matchups. I think if they see the Atlanta Hawks, I'm picking the Atlanta Hawks personally.
What did I say to you yesterday, Ox? Before you go any further, Ox, what did I say to you yesterday about Atlanta?
You said that you don't want to see them.
I don't want nothing to do with them. Everybody else, name them. The Knicks, Orlando, Detroit, all of them other teams, bring them. I don't want nothing to do with Atlanta. Nothing. I don't want nothing to do with them.
Because I feel like if, the Cleveland Cavaliers is the 1 seed, New York Knicks is the 2 seed, I don't think it's out of realm of possibility that the Atlanta Hawks could be the 3 seed. And with them being that, that means that the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Atlanta Hawks, they meet in the second round. And I feel like that's a tough out. I don't think I would pick the Atlanta Hawks. That's all I know. But besides that, I think Cleveland beats just about anybody else. Honestly, I don't think the Orlando Magic has the offense. Even though I know Paolo is very good in the playoffs thus far, I don't think they have the offense to just score consistently on that Cleveland Cavaliers defense. And we know Donovan Mitchell, when he's in the playoffs, he's like, I know people don't think he's a top 10 player, Chill, but in the playoffs, he's definitely a top 10 player to me.
Don't say that too loud, yo. Don't, because there's people who think Donovan Mitchell is whack.
It's not ridiculous. It's not ridiculous to say that, man.
They think he's whack. They think Donovan Mitchell, like Donovan Mitchell doesn't scorch ass in the playoffs. Nah,
every year.
Yeah.
I think he only had 1 year where he didn't, and I believe that was a 2023 versus the Knicks. But every single year besides that, he's literally an all-time great in the playoffs, and I think people forget about that.
Gets straight busy.
But going towards the East, the West, I think it's going to be a repeat from 2 years from the 2024 season. I think the Denver Nuggets could possibly be the 1 seed. The Oklahoma City, OKC was 1, right?
Last season, yes, Oklahoma City.
No, in 2024. In 2024, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I think OKC got 1. I think Denver got 2, and I'm gonna pick Minnesota for 3 since they have the continuity. They won 48 games last year with them starting off, acclimating people. They grabbed Julius Randle, Dante DiVincenzo like a couple days before training camp, and they started off rocky, but through January onwards, even when Julius Randle was out, Dante DiVincenzo was out, Rudy Gobert was even out for a stretch, they were still a good team. And then when they came back, they became an even better team, and then they went to the Western Conference Finals. I'm betting on their continuity this year, and I believe they start off strong because they do have a particularly weak schedule in there, like to start off the season. And yes, I'm counting Denver as weak to them specifically because until Denver show they can beat the Wolves, I'm just gonna pick the Wolves.
I actually ran down the Wolves schedule. I think that I had them starting the season like 16-4, something like that. Yeah. I had them starting the season like really high, considering what their schedule looks like. Because again, if I look at their schedule, they got stuff like Denver. Let's see, I think they got Denver. They also have
Lakers with no LeBron.
Yeah, Lakers with no LeBron. That they got Portland to open up.
They got Brooklyn in a couple of days.
So they got Portland, the Lakers, Indiana, Denver, the Lakers again, at Charlotte, at Brooklyn, at the Knicks, Utah, at Sacramento, at Utah, Sacramento at home, Denver at home, Dallas, Washington, at Phoenix. Yeah, I think I had them starting 16-4 to start the season. Yep.
Right.
I had them 16-4 to start the season. I think they're gonna be good. I do.
Yo, Marcus, we win in one of those matchups. We play good against the Wolves.
Yeah. You don't got De'Aaron Fox this time, but
that's true. You're right.
Because he killed us last year. Even though we still won that game where he gave us 60, he was killing last year. But in the playoffs, I know people don't have the Wolves going to a third conference finals, but I will say if they see the Denver Nuggets in the second round, I'm picking the Wolves. And again, if it goes like how I said it is, with the Thunder being the 1 seed, the Denver Nuggets being the 2 seed, Nuggets being the 3 seed, we see them in the second round. I think we're gonna beat whoever we got in the first round.
What do you think about Shannon?
Oh, he's great. He's great. Finch already trusts him. He loves him, and everybody loves him. I know you want him to start at the point guard.
I love him at the 1. I do. I love
Yeah.
him at that 6'5", younger, can put a whole bunch of pressure on the defense. I love him at the lead guard spot. No doubt about that. I do.
Chill. I think he's going to be one of the best transition players we've ever seen. I don't think that's too far. I don't think that's a fetch to say that, because when he gets out in transition, there is no stopping him. He just puts his head down and he just goes and he scores almost every single time. And he can even make plays out of that when kicking out to the corner and stuff like that. The only thing that he got to just clean up is just, being a bull in the China shop where he's, committing charges and stuff like that. But that's fine. That's actually kind of a good turn because at least you're being aggressive and stuff. But yeah, I love TJ. Okay. I actually don't think the Wolves got that much weaker. I know Nickeil Alexander-Walker is going, but I think that's why we have a Jalen Clark who is an A+ on ball defender. He's an A+ defender anyway. He's a great defender. TJ, he's good. He's got to get better, but he's a big body. He's strong. He ain't gonna get bullied. He's turned into a good shooter. He's already a great transition player. And then, we got the ascension of Anthony Edwards. Hopefully Rob improves. We still got Dante DiVincenzo who can light it up. Rudy Gobert, I'm Matt. Chill. Can you please tell Rudy Gobert when Ant hits him wide open to make the basket, please?
Well, he did. Well, he had some really good finishes around the rim against the Bulls a couple of nights ago. Yeah, that lob just looked bad. That just made it.
The lob looked bad. The first layup looked bad. Wide open.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Even though he made his next 4 shots in a row, by the way.
Yes.
Like we leave that part out.
He missed his first 4 shots, but he missed his first 4 shots.
And then he made his next 5. I'm sorry, he made his next 4. He went 7 for 12 from the floor.
In the second half, he was good.
It's not at all, Ox.
Not bad.
In the second half, he was good, but I would like him to, as a 7-footer, just make the easy baskets.
Y'all want Joel? Not Joel. I'm sorry. Y'all want Rudy Gobert to average 25 because he's tall.
No, I want him to make the open basket. That's what I want him to do.
Big for nothing. No, he's not big for nothing. He's effective around the rim. He is.
I want him to make the open basket.
All right, Marcus, good to talk to you, brother.
All right,
appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's grab one more person up in the lobby before we move on to the next topic. And if you're still in the lobby after this, you stick around. We'll get back to you. I got something else I want to talk to you about. I want to talk to you about Russell Westbrook in a second, chill. But let me hear first from my man Breezy. What's up, Breeze?
Chilling. Go ahead. Just wanted to ask, because y'all
are you chilling or are you the villain today? Which one is it?
I'm probably the villain. All right. Because the 70, I heard y'all talking good about the 76, and it just made me realize the only reason why they won a championship is because they got Dr. J from the Nets. But I ain't really want to mention that. You know what I mean? But
out there though.
But I wanted to ask Chill because y'all the best in the business. So I just wanted to ask, did he know this? It's kind of like, did you know? Because I feel like you know a lot about basketball. Do you know who has the most lottery picks in the NBA ever?
The most lottery picks in the NBA.
And for what it's worth, I'm getting it from Google. I didn't know this.
So the lottery started in 1985. That's when the lottery started. The most lottery picks ever. Is it the Clippers?
The Clippers is up there with the most appearances with 25. The answer is the Charlotte Hornets with 27 selections.
Interesting. All right. So it's Charlotte. All right.
So my question is that can you just break down how it takes more than just the talent to win a championship and not just lottery picks?
No, well, number one, you can have lottery picks, but you got to get the right guys. You can't just pick guys in the lottery. I hate to bring this up, and Ox hates it, but when I saw this kid when I saw this kid Thomas Robinson out of Kansas, I was like, yo, that's Karl Malone 2.0. Not really realizing that his game doesn't translate to the pros.
He
No.
was 6'6".
I thought he was 6'9". I had him listed at 6'9", and he looked like a man amongst boys. I was like, yo, this is Malone 2.0. No, wrong. So, one, you got to pick the right guys. In addition to picking the right guys, you got to have the right chef in the kitchen. And you can't have a high turnover when it comes to coaching. Like, if you got 3, 4, 5 coaches, that's going to be a problem because we got 3, 4, 5 different systems, and we can't really get acclimated to that. So when you picking the right guys, like for example, what Cleveland is doing right now, with Cleveland building that unit. Cleveland in the lottery, they end up getting Darius Garland, and they end up getting Mobley, but then they end up trading. Right, they end up getting Mobley because Mobley fits to what they're doing. They get Darius Garland, and they had KPJ, but then they realized that KPJ wasn't their guy, so they stick with Darius Garland. Turns out Darius Garland is their guy at the lead guard spot. Then you make the necessary trades to fit with these guys, and then you basically keep the same guy at the helm, right? So when they get Bickerstaff, they get Bickerstaff as a guy to take them as far as he's going to take them. I do think that he got a raw deal, but I think they took him as far as he's going to take them. And then you get another guy in here who can basically get them over the hump. And not all the time that's the case, but sometimes that is the case. I think that with having Kenny Atkinson, I think that's a big deal. When I think about building your unit, you got great. When you're in the lottery, I don't think you take the best player. I've never been that. I've always felt like you take the guy that fits your system because you're building something. And I don't necessarily need that. Even though that's awesome, I don't need that. I need something to go with what I already have. And this doesn't work with that.
I just want to ask you this last question. To add to what you just said, was Akeem better than Jordan at the draft? Is that what happened? Was he better than Jordan?
That's why Sam Bowie went in front of Jordan, because it was a big man. You built your unit around the big guy. That's what it was. Because the year before that, Ralph Sampson went number 1, right? In addition to Ralph Sampson going number 1, James Worthy was the number 1 pick in '82. Joe Barry Carroll was supposed. I think he was the number 1 pick in '81. So I mean, you built your unit around the big guy during that time. That's why, like I said, Sam Bowie went ahead of Jordan, because that's what you were doing. With that being said, when you build your unit, because they already had a 2-guard in Portland at that time, and that was Drex. That's why they got a big man. They didn't look to have Jordan at the 2-guard, who, by the way, turned out to be really good, if we're being honest. But with that being said, I am a firm believer that you pick for need, not necessarily for the best player, because you're building your unit a specific way.
Nah, thank you for that. I just want to say this last thing, Cho. For one, for real, thank you. And the last thing I want to say, when I checked the draft this last season, the big man wasn't the dominant anymore. It was wings and guards. So it went from drafting the big man first to now getting wings and guards. When you look at 1 through 10 in this last draft, the first time we get to a big man, I think, is Malawan.
Well, we live in that kind of league today. The game is way further away from the basket today than what it was years ago. And a lot of these guards and a lot of these wings, this game is more acclimated to their game. The reason why it was that back then, because the big man played closer to the basket. And because the big man played closer to the basket, that's why we got a big man.
Nah, I appreciate it. Thank you, Big Ox. Thank you, Chill.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, Bruce.
Later,
yeah. Yeah, the league is definitely changing, y'all.
Yes, it is.
Speaking of the league changing, a guy that's been around the league for quite some time, Russell Westbrook. Just want to talk to you about a video I saw. Well, first I want to let you know why, real quick. So, Doug Christie just came out and said, "Hey, I just want Russ to be Russ. You know, just want Russ to be himself, play his game." If you don't know, Russell Westbrook has recently signed with my Sacramento Kings, and our coach, Doug Christie, seems to be supporting Russ and supporting him in the fact that we don't need Russ to change. We need Russ to just continue to be Russ, right? Chill. I just want to bring up something I saw a video. It was kind of funny. Maybe not funny for Russ, but to me, it was kind of funny, right? He was walking off the court. I believe they were in Los Angeles at the Staples Center, and there was a line of kids. And you know, Russ has he's played for quite a bit of teams at this point in his career. The first 2 kids had Oklahoma City Thunder jerseys. Next 2 kids had some Lakers jerseys, and another kid had a Rockets jersey. Can you guess, Chill, which 3 of those jerseys he signed and which 2 of those jerseys he did not sign?
I bet he didn't sign the Laker jersey. I'm pretty confident he didn't sign that one. And let's see. I think he would have. Again, Ox, I didn't see it, so I don't know. I'm going off the top of my head. I do think that he signed the Oklahoma City Thunder jersey. I wouldn't be surprised. Did they have a Washington jersey on?
No, that was it. It was, so you got it right at the jump. Like, he signed everything but the Lakers gear.
Yeah, I kind of figured that.
Yeah,
they treated him like down there in Los Angeles. He don't want to be there. Hell no. They treated him. They treated him awful there. Absolutely, they treated him awful. So I don't blame him. I don't blame him at all.
Yeah, I mean, hey, but I'm saying that's just Russ being Russ. You know what I'm saying? He is who he is. You know, and I'm not mad at that. Like, I don't know. It's deeper than that for him. It was deeper than that. Like you said, he got treated really bad, and he was scapegoated, if you ask me, for the time he was in.
Ox, I think that's the consensus. They treated him bad and they blamed him for everything. That's what they did. They blamed Russ for the whole thing. The whole thing was Russ's fault, even though he led them in rebounds, assists, and blocks when James was out the lineup, when Anthony Davis was out the lineup. That was Russ doing that. Russ was the one who was giving them playing almost every night. Russ was the one who was giving them as many quality minutes as he gave him. Yes, Russ didn't have one of the best shooting performances. All right, I can get with that. But to treat Russ the way y'all did, like the whole thing was his fault, nah, that was completely and totally out of line. Nah, they did him dirty. They did him dirty, and I can appreciate him not wanting to be involved with them at all. Nah, he's right.
Yeah. So I want to talk about something else too. The Miami Heat. Apparently, they haven't made an extension to Tyler Hero yet, right? So apparently it looks like they're gearing up for not this offseason coming up, but the offseason after that. 2027, where we know guys like Giannis, Jokic, Donovan Mitchell, these guys are going to be free agents. Is it possible that any one of these guys can end up in South Beach?
Especially as free agents? Yes, 100%. Giannis with Milwaukee, 2 years, we'll be in year what, 12? No, let's see. Yeah, we already passed. He came in 13. We're in year 12 now. So he'll be 32 years old, which means we'll be in year 14. So I would not be surprised if he ended up leaving Milwaukee for South Beach. That would not surprise me. Joke, on the other hand, I'm having a difficult time seeing Miami pry Joker away from Denver. Considering what they have right now, this is going to be a team that's going to be competing for the NBA championship. Don't get me wrong. I think Joker puts you in a space where you can have an opportunity to win the NBA championship. But this Miami team, okay, one, we already got a 5-man. We already got a 4-man. You already know how I feel about their 3-man. And they got a 2-guard. I think that with the group that they have, I think that Pat Riley is setting up. I think he's setting the stage for other free agents, not necessarily on the front line, but I think he's setting the landscape for other free agents to see that this is what we have. And you as a free agent, you come in and you're the difference in what we're doing, because I think that they're going to be a lot better. I still think that they're a league guard away. Tyler Hero's an all-star. Andrew Wiggins is one of the best small forwards in the game. Bam is arguably the best defender in the game. Definitely a top 5 defender. This kid Khalil Ware is getting better by the day, and I love everything about him. So now we really just a league guard away from really challenging. And don't get me wrong, Ox. If you have an opportunity to get a guy like Giannis, if you have an opportunity to get a guy like Joker, you can't. I don't scoff at that at all. But I feel like with what they have, with Bam being only 27 years old, with this kid Khalil Ware being 21, 22 years old, Tyler Hero being 25 years old, I mean, I think that they got a young core enough where they can build this thing. And if they have an opportunity to get another young guy, they could do it. I could see Donovan Mitchell coming down here, 100%. If that Cleveland team doesn't win it in the next 2 years, I could see him coming down here. Yes, I could definitely see that.
Okay. I'm not mad at that at all. You know, I'm curious to see what happens. Speaking of the Miami Heat, though, Chill, last night, the two big guys combined for quite the game. Khalil Ware, 20 points, 14 rebounds in the block. Bam Adebayo, 23 points, 8 rebounds, and 4 assists. I mean, looks like they're on to something in South Beach.
Ox, it sounds like you just said to me, I got 40 and 20 from my front court. Where they doing that at, Ox? Where we doing that at? I don't know no other front line where we doing that at. If I'm getting that kind of production, which I don't think that's going to be on the regular. I'm not saying that. But I love the fact that Khalil Ware is the glass cleaner that he is. I mean, the Miami Heat stole him in the middle of the first round. Stole him. And it turns out, if you look at the landscape of the Miami Heat, they've actually been pretty consistent with these late lottery to middle first round of guys. They got Tyler Hero at 13. They end up getting Bam at 14. Now they got Khalil Ware at 14. I think that they've done a really good job in scouting. And I love the fact that Khalil Ware gets on the glass. I love the fact that he protects the rim the way he does. I think Bam is perfect at the 4. That's why I'm not ready to give up on this unit just yet. I think that these Miami Heat fans, in the words of my man Big Ox, I think that they so thirsty for right now, when in reality, we are on to something. Do not break this up. Do not blow this up. You're going to screw this up if you end up coming off of Bam, because we're on to something here. Because you got the big guy that you were looking for. That does big guy things, gets on the glass, finishes around the glass. He does the pick and pop stuff. He does the pick and dive stuff. He will shoot the 3, but he's young, right? So we're still trying to develop him. But from what I see, he's your 5-man of the future. You already got your 4-man. Again, Andrew Wiggins is the same age as Jimmy Butler was when you got him. The exact same age. In addition to that, Tyler Hero is 25 years old. We are on to something with this group, man. We are on to something. We just got to stay healthy.
Yeah, I'm high on Miami, man. I'm super high on Miami. Another guy I'm high on, young fella in Dallas, Cooper Flagg. He's been playing some really good defense, chill. Cooper Flagg has held his matchup to 8 for 37 from the field. That's 21% this whole preseason. So he's locking up, chill. He's locking up. What does that say about Dallas and their defense?
I think it says they're going to be one of the better defenses in the game, because in addition to Cooper Flagg buying in to the scheme that they have, I got a great roamer / rim protector / rebounder in Anthony Davis, a great shot blocker who's also a really good one-on-one defender who can navigate defenses and basically call out schemes for Cooper Flagg, who's young. On top of that, our front line, Cooper Flagg 6'9", Anthony Davis 6'10", Gafford 6'9", and Lively 7 foot. We should dominate on the glass, and basically stop plays and hold teams under their average, just as far as rebounding. And then I got guys who are going to compete on the wing. I got Najee who's going to compete on the wing. I got Max Christie who's going to compete on the wing, right? I got guys like that, and Cooper Flagg who's also going to play on the wing. Even though he's young, I think these guys are going to compete. I think Klay Thompson, who isn't the all-league defender that he used to be, but he will compete on the defensive end. I think that this Dallas team defensively going to be one of the 10, if not the 5 best defenses in the league. And I think that that's going to be their calling card this year. And it's going to be powered by that front line.
I agree. I wholeheartedly agree. I feel like that defense is geared. That they got all the tools on the defense they need to stay relevant until they get Kyrie back. I think that's all they're missing is Kyrie back, and that team is going to be super dangerous. I'm here for it, man. I'm here for it. We got somebody else in the lobby. Let's get him up here. We got 2 cents. 2 cents. What's going on, brother?
What's good, man? Happy Saturday to you. Hey, yeah, interesting topics, man. Y'all Saturday it be fire, ain't no lie. But here's what I would say about that Miami, and man, they fight. It's not that these teams don't be good. Like, man, I done seen the Clippers be. I done seen them have great teams, and it's just something. I don't know, are people cursed or what? They got a good squad. It's not that they don't get good each year and they get different pieces, but unfortunately, other teams have gotten better. Man, you can't. I don't know how you really stop it. And what happens is the GMs and people like that, they don't want to get fired. So when you see a lottery pick, sometimes your hands are behind your back. You still got to pick the best guy, and we all know the number 1 pick is not always synonymous with the best guy or whatever. We've seen 4th, 5th, Yeah. And them people you name it, like, man, I was watching where I was like, oh my God. Yeah, this dude, he legit. Yeah, it's a guy, all the guys y'all talking about, I'm like, yeah, they legit. But only thing about it is the team. It has to mesh. I don't care. Why do you think they don't make a team starting 5 all 7-footers? Because it don't mesh. They could be the best 7-footers in the game, but we know that don't mesh, and I can beat you defensively based upon that. It's not always the best players, you know.
And let me ask you this: if you're looking at this Miami Heat team in terms of improving, the improvement of Khalil Ware, like, what does that do for this Miami Heat team in your estimation?
Man, Miami, I cannot count them out. I got a Miami Heat homeboy. Man, you can't count them out because the grit, and they play together, and once you play together so long, it gives you a slight advantage. You know, it does. So that's why sometimes I do give LeBron props. I'm like, he ain't do it on one team like Kobe and Mike. No, he did it on like 3 different teams. So I give him some credit, not all the credit. But
Fair enough.
It has the mesh. It has the mesh. But I appreciate y'all, man. To hold the show.
Absolutely,
I thought y'all was been going at 1 hour, man. Y'all kept it going. I'm cool with it. Y'all about to go.
We go 1 hour on Thursday, right? We go 1 hour on Thursday, and then we go 90 minutes on Saturday. Yep.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what's up. All right.
Yeah. All right, man. Appreciate you.
Much love, bro.
Yep, absolutely.
Chill. Can you talk about VJ Edgecombe? Like, I know you brought him up earlier, but I don't think we really got into depth. He's been really impressing me. His athleticism is something we already knew about. Already knew about the athleticism from Baylor. I think it's the feel for the game and just kind of making right plays and just you know, his willingness and want to play defense is something really been impressive to me. Chill. What are you seeing when you see VJ Edgecombe play ball? And
I see the next.
And also, Chill, what are his chances at Rookie of the Year?
Well, number one, I see the next iteration of a great 2-guard. Like when we talk about Donovan Mitchell, Devin Booker, Dwayne Wade, like guys like that. I see that kind of athleticism. I see that kind of effort. I see a guy that's going to compete on the defensive end. I see a catch and shoot guy. I see a guy with confidence in his game where that's going to take him way further than the other stuff is, because I think that he plays very much within himself. I don't think he knows what he's doing yet, but I think he knows enough, and he plays within himself enough to be as good as he is right now. I don't think he's afraid of the moment. Athletically, I think he can compete with anybody at the guard position and on the wing. I think he makes guys like McCain expendable off the strength that he looks like he could stay healthy. He looks like an athlete more than anything, and he's really coachable. He's one of those guys where once I'm able to implement the other stuff in his game, he's going to be unstoppable. I think he's going to be one of those kind of players. I ended up picking Trey Johnson for Rookie of the Year, and I think I might be wrong because I watched this kid VJ Edgecombe, and he's going to be integral in their offense. When I see what Tyrese Maxey gives them offensively as a transition guard, and I see VJ filling the lane, I see VJ stopping and popping. When we get in the half court, I definitely want to involve him a lot more in our offense. I definitely want to involve him a lot more in our offense than most rookies are, because when I see his game, Ox, especially with his strong hand, and I know that, you know, once, you know, we get a feel for a guy and we get tape on him and we know what he wants to do, he doesn't really have a lot of counters, but he does. Like, he's got that jab, go to his weak hand, one dribble pull up. He has that in his game. He's got that catch and shoot at the long ball line. He isn't afraid of the moment. I see him smacking his hands and asking for the ball going up against other guys. That kind of confidence resonates throughout, not just him, not just the coaching staff, but the guys on the crew. Where when I see him and when I see him asking for the ball, Tyrese Maxey gets his confidence up too, because I'm going to him. And when in addition to me going to him, that's going to get my offense going too. That's going to get Joel Embiid's offense going too. Ox, I think he's their starting 2-guard on opening night, and I think they got their guy, no doubt about it.
Well, I mean, will he remain that when Jared McCain is healthy?
Yes. And the reason why, number one, I think he's better than Jared McCain right now. I think
Really?
he's better than one,
Okay.
he's bigger. He's bigger. I think he's a better scorer. I think he's a better offensive overall player. I think he competes more on defense. I think he's more versatile on defense. And from what I've seen in terms of durability, I think I could count on him a little bit more. With McCain being as small as he is at 6'1", maybe 6'2", I don't think that I could use him in as many spaces as I can use VJ Edgecombe. I don't think that I can go to him as much as I could go to VJ Edgecombe on the offensive end of the floor. So I think he makes I think he makes McCain expendable off the strength that I already got my lead guard in Maxey. He's already my guy. And I already got a guy coming off the bench for cheaper, even though McCain is on a Rook deal. I got a guy for cheaper in Quentin Grimes. So I think he makes McCain expendable, and I think that we can possibly get some draft picks and maybe shore up our front line even more for him.
Right. Well, you saying move, not necessarily saying do that, but saying that you could come off of McCain, right? And then earlier in the show, you were talking about even your take that you had a while back about coming off of potentially Joel Embiid and Paul George. If they were to do something like that, I mean, just blow the whole thing up and start again and have a rebuild process. How long would that take? And can VJ Edgecombe and Tyrese Maxey being the center of that, how good could that team potentially be? Like, would they ever be able to compete for another championship? Like, how would that look?
I think that we got to make the right moves, and this is why I'm talking about with Jared McCain. I think that I could get a first-round pick for him. I could find a backup lead guard. I don't think that that's that difficult. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think it is difficult, but I don't think it's that difficult to find a backup lead guard. And if I'm coming off of Paul George and I'm coming off of Joel Embiid, I'm obviously starting over. So if I'm starting over with this backcourt, now I got to show up my front court, right? So I got to get it right in the draft. So that means that I'm probably going to have a high draft pick. We're not going to win that many games, so I'm going to have a high draft pick. So that means that I'm moving into the draft. I'm going to shore up my wing spot. In addition to shoring up my wing spot, I want to get me some big guys in here, right? And I think that my big guy is in the draft, a guy that's more stable, a guy that's more durable. And if I can move off of Jared McCain, I can definitely get a first-round pick for him. And when I say a first-round pick, I'm thinking something in the middle of the first round. If I could get that, I think that would be really good for them. And to answer your question about the timeline, well, when I move off of Joel Embiid and Paul George, well, I think Maxey is 24. I mean, I think the timeline, I think we can be competitive within the next 2-3 years. I think so. Yes, I think we could be competitive, especially considering the way the game is. I think we can be competitive in the next 2-3 years because I got durability now, and I got sustainability in the backcourt. Yes.
Yeah. If I was to do that shit, I would do it right now.
I said that last summer, Ox. Not this summer that just passed. I said that last season. Like this summer, I was ready to go. I was ready to move off of Joel Embiid and Paul George. See what I could get for him.
I'm even more ready to do it now, man. Let's get into those Cam Boozer sweepstakes. Let's make it happen.
I gotta pay attention to this kid, Ox, because you've been really big on him.
Got to. Chill. Really on the way out, I just want to just end it with this because this is the last stream you guys will see us on before the season starts. As far as Chill with Chill goes, of course you'll see us on the panel on Monday. You'll catch us again. You'll see Chill live on TikTok, and of course you will. You'll see us again. But as far as Chill with Chill goes, you won't see us again until Thursday. So, Chill, I want to ask you to give your takes right now because opening night we got a doubleheader. We're going to kick it off with the Houston Rockets and the OKC Thunder. Chill, who you got? And give me by how much? And who will have a big game?
I'm going to take the Rockets in a spoiler. I mean, the OKC Thunder are going to be riding high. I mean, it's opening night. It's the ring ceremony. There's a super high emotion. And KD is coming into the building, actually seeing them do that. This is a place where he did this for 9 years and he couldn't get it done. So I think there's going to be a level of animosity there that they're going to be like, yeah, look what we did without you. So I think KD's coming in there to cut ass. So I'm going to take Houston in that. I'm going to take Houston in Oklahoma City on opening night.
Okay. And then after that game, you do have the Golden State Warriors against the Los Angeles Lakers, the LeBron-less Los Angeles Lakers. Who wins that game? Who goes crazy and how much?
It's opening night. Those old guys are fresh. With those old guys being fresh, No James. Luka's looking really good. I'm going to take the Warriors on opening night. I think Curry gets busy. I think Jimmy Butler gives you a solid outing. I think he's going to give you something like 8 between 17 and 19. And I think that it's going to be a collective more than anything. I think Luka gets busy, but I'm going to take the Warriors. I'm going to take the Warriors on opening night by 7.
Okay. Well, there you have it, y'all. Y'all heard it here. We're going with the Houston Rockets upsetting and spoiling ring night in Oklahoma City. And then you got the Golden State Warriors kicking ass against the Los Angeles Lakers. Of course, I would love to see that. But that's it, y'all. That's all we got. You don't got to go home.
Let me turn this
You know the rest.
That was
all right.
Claire right there. That was Claire literally just hit me.
She don't play.
I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. That was my phone. So that was Claire telling me that. Let's go wrap this up, guys. So
I ain't gonna show y'all the messages. I don't want Claire be talking to me.
No.
Y'all think she's so sweet.
No, Claire makes it clear that Claire makes it clear. Yes, she does. Cheerio is like, yeah, let's get this thing moving. Since we're on the subject of moving, we gotta move. So it was good to see you guys. Y'all know what time it is. It's basketball season, guys. We back in effect. It is basketball season. We are back in effect. It was good to see you guys. We will see you guys soon. You know where to find me and the big fella at. If we ain't on the panel, we right here on Thursday and Saturday, 4 o'clock on Thursday, 12 o'clock on Saturday. We will see you guys soon. Until then, put on a suit, drink water, don't drink and drive. Hey, man, call your mother. When's the last time you talked to your mother? Call your mother. We will talk to you guys soon. But until then, take it light. We're taking. Absolutely, man. It was good to see you guys today. This was super dope. No doubt.
All right, y'all. Y'all make sure y'all get up tomorrow and tune into the press box. Tomorrow is a big day of football. Make sure you're there to check it out, man. The dudes on the press box. If you're a football casual like me, that's the place you want to be. So go ahead and get there, y'all. Check y'all on Monday. Take care of yourself and never, ever, 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 ever drink and drive. See y'all later. Peace.
Later.